Hey guys, you're looking at Betta Albimarginata and Betta Channoides fry. And how these guys got mixed up in this tank is pretty much a not so funny story, but they've actually done pretty well, so I've left them alone. About a month ago or so these guys are almost 5 weeks old themselves, I found a couple Betta Channoides and one Betta Albimarginata male that were holding. So I set them up in temporary pens that I made out of PVC, my wife's old thigh highs. You might remember the video I shot about a little over a month ago. And when I set it up, I did it in a rush, and I didn't realize that there was a hole actually that penetrated the thigh high. So they weren't exactly contained. So when the male finally spit the fry, and I actually removed the male, they pretty much all escaped. And how they all found this hole, which was all the way up in the top surface of the little pen that I had them in, it's pretty amazing. But they found the way. They didn't want to actually stay inside the pen, and they were in the tank with the Sundadanio axolotl, which you see here in this video. This is the Sumatran peat swamp setup that I have. Basically a 15-gallon tank loaded with leaves, driftwood, Java moss, Java plants, super dark water, temperatures about 80 degrees. So make a long story short, the fry have been running loose with these guys from the very beginning. Now the good thing is that Sundadanio axolotl have actually pretty small mouths, so they were never able to actually eat the fry. Even at the 1 day old stage, they were never able to eat them, and this video actually proves that. Of course, there's probably about 6 or 7 in this tank altogether, and there's more than half of them directly in front of us. So the Betta Channoides and the Albimarginata can be told you can actually tell the difference pretty simply at this stage still. The dark juveniles are typically Albimarginata, and I believe the light gray are typically Betta Channoides. And as these guys get a little bit older, they get easier to distinguish the differences. Females are a little more difficult, but the males are pretty easy to tell apart. I never intended for these fry to actually be mixed up in the same tank, but since I had one male holding in one pen and another male holding in a different pen, 2 separate species, I never expected the fry to find a way to escape, and they actually did. And then at some point I realized, hey, if they're in there, I can't get them out, and if they get lunched by the Sundadanio, there's not much I could do about that either. I'll just keep my fingers crossed. And guess what? They all made it. They fed on the same foods that the Sundadanio have been eating, which are microworms and frozen baby brine. That's what I've been feeding these guys. And as you can tell in this video, the Channoid fry and the Albimarginata fry are just cruising around on the leaf, and they're picking on the microworms and the frozen baby brine that are stuck on the leaf. Not to mention the different microorganisms that have been living in this tank from the very beginning, since I seeded it with Java moss from other tanks I've had. There's all kinds of benthic and probably some sort of zooplankton that are living in the water that the fry were able to actually feed on. So once again, nature finds a way, and Betta fry aren't as sensitive as most people think. Yes, they do not like fluctuations in temperature and water quality, and yes, you can overfeed and crash a tank, but once you get those different individual nuances under control, they're pretty stable fish, and they'll find a way to survive, and these guys will prove that. So as once again, here's the axolotls. None of their mouths are large enough to actually eat this stage, but they weren't even actually big enough to eat day-old stage either, and they left them alone. So this tank actually makes a pretty good nursery pen for Betta fry. And I don't know if I'd go crazy putting other species in here, but I think I would continue to try it out using the Albimarginata and Channoides fry as they become available. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I know we've been putting out a lot of videos on fry, but that seems to be the thing that's actually been most exciting in our room, are the different Betta fry that we're getting the past couple months. So hope you enjoy. Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate the support. FunctionBuilt-Aquatics. See ya.